Casi se encabraron. You're gonna see that in the window, güey.
We're not gonna post it anymore.
How much you charging per hour?
1,000.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Per hour.
Per hour.
No, it's not much for them.
Are you watching my pockets?
No, I'm watching your account. Now you package. You don't got nothing in your pockets because you don't like cash money. No?
So the steps.
So Patrick did these little.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
It's really nice.
I like it, Chad.
Thanks,
I
pops.
especially like that area.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
That is really awesome.
So, last time y'all were here- Yeah, it does. Last time we were here, we were painting. I don't think we had any of this. I think we had just started demoing that Wednesday or that Thursday. But before, there was a wooden deck, and we'll pop up a picture showing that. And the deck would come out here, and then there was like a really ugly sidewalk that hugged the building. But it was kind of pitched that way. And it was kind of at a level, but there was a slight swale. There is this existing channel drain that was put in by the owner. This is kind of a makeshift drain. We don't install drains like this, but it kind of works. So we wanted to use that as our reference point, and I really wanted to get a step, so we were able to put in a step. So if you look over there, a little 6-inch, 7-inch step right there, which I think is really cool. Anytime you can add a little bit of height, that's a great idea to do that in Houston. So we put in a patio here, and then we didn't want to see the channel drain, so we put in our seating wall. So we built this out of CMU blocks, and we glued our pavers that we use here onto the wall, and then we put a pool coping. And this is a cast stone paver, so that helped top it off. Very, very beautiful. Okay. And then right here, the drain goes here, right? The channel drain. And then we put a catch basin in, and we just put a drain in for the owner. Like, we're just going to take care of it because we don't want to wait for them to handle it. So we took care of that. And then we installed 5 45-gallon Japanese U's. These are the biggest ones that I could get my hands on. Look, I'm stepping up here, and this is the height of the top of the Japanese U. So it's almost touching the aluminum pergola, or IRP. And then if you look up, we get our IRP in. So this is our inside panel. Y'all heard me talk about this before. We had to weld, because there's 2 buildings, right? So we had to weld pretty much like a custom L bracket here, L bracket there, and then there's another weld in there. That's another weld. This one has to screw the self-tapping screws into the steel beam that's right here. So this turned out great. We're gonna get 2 more lights in, a switch. We gotta put flashing in here because we have a gap. And then we'll have a gutter system on the back side, but this is pretty much wrapped up. We bought some nice teak furniture, which I think complements the space well.
After you set up the post, you're gonna bring the retaining wall like what? How much?
Here, we have 4 beautiful rocking chairs. We got these from Chair King in Memorial. These are so comfortable. We got Gamma. After we wrapped this up, we started to work on the inside. We've been doing this since Tuesday. We put some 2 sconce lightings. Y'all have already seen these. I'm really happy with how that turned out. And then on the inside, I'm gonna be quiet because we got AT&T tech, and then we have the electricians and carpenters still working. But we went with the dark green wall. We did rail lights on the roof. So before it was a ceiling tile like this, and the ceiling tile came up to about the height of the ceiling, or the height of the wall right here. So we got rid of that, and the reason we were able to do that is because the roof is insulated already. What's up, Bernie?
Morning.
Good morning. And then we painted the ceiling black, and we repainted the trim. Oh, this is There's the approval. Approved quote. What's going on? So let's see.
Over here where we got the giant gable coming up here.
So this is where we're doing that patio cover. So they got all the rebar done. We had to reroute. Look at all those pipes.
Oh wow.
There's plumbing pipes, there's gas pipes, so it delayed us by like 2 weeks, but it's what you have to do things right. So we're dealing with that. This is in Bel Air. But so we're in River Oaks. We're at a really awesome home. It's a historic home actually. It's built in the 20s. So if you turn around here, see you got the rounded columns. It's kind of the old style is what I'll say. Old style homes. I don't think you can get away with building homes like this anymore in Houston, but it's really cool to still see stuff like this, in person. But anyways, on this project, in the front, we just kind of did a general trim, cleanup, nothing too sexy, nothing fun. But over in the back is where we did a lot of work. There was no hardscaping involved. There was nothing crazy involved. All we did on this job was irrigation and plants. But what was really cool about it was the size of some of these plants. So if you look straight ahead here, we got our live oak trees. These are massive oak trees. I believe they were each 6 or 7K. The size of the boxes, I'll show you. I want to stand up next to it. I think you could fit 4 or 5 of me. I think it's about 25, 30 feet. Absolutely insane. So we actually had to, watch your feet, it's kind of wet. We actually had to get a crane for this and then crane it over the home, very similar to the spa. And I'm sure it was just as heavy as that spa that we did a few weeks ago. And we took care of it. But there's we did the Eagleson hollies over there. We did azaleas, Boston ivy. That's gonna look great because she has a neighbor with a huge home in the back. But once that grows in, it's gonna look incredible. And then we just trimmed up the hedges there. So very, very happy with how this all turned out. Really cool project. That's just phase 1. We're gonna be doing 2 or 3 more phases. So it's gonna be exciting. Y'all stay tuned. You filming? So we're in a really nice neighborhood. We're in Bel Air, Texas, which is right in Houston, but it's one of the nicer places in Houston. It's got these giant lots with these beautiful oak trees. So we're gonna pull up to our next job site. The boys are already here. And we got another truck here too. We got 2 trucks here. One of the PMs must be here with the dumpy. So Matt's just switching out the trailers because this trailer is one of our newest ones. And it's like a 16-foot one. So, Matt, do you want to get that? You want to get your boots today?
Yeah, if I have time. I'm pretty busy this morning. I'll get it from you later.
Okay, because I have the card. Okay, so yeah, it's one of the longer ones. It's new, so we have to get it measured and sized up so we can get the decals on it. So Matt's gonna take that. They have it done over the weekend. This trailer's cool because we got a toolbox in here. We got the other toolbox that y'all have seen before. ¿Cómo estamos, Pancho? So I had to take out this. We had a wrought iron gate, so we took it out because we were doing a lot of dirt work. But basically, on this project, we're doing Eagleson hollies on the back fence. So you can see here, we got our winter gardenias. You can't smell it through the camera, but they bloomed in the last week or 2, and they're starting actually to die out now. But they smell phenomenal. That's why I love them. So if somebody comes through here and they walk through here, they'll get that aroma. So these will go along the side fence. ¿Cómo estamos, Gama? Estamos en video. Yeah.
The bring only 15, they don't bring the 16.
Okay, just make it.
But I'm gonna put a 7 here. And hey, that side.
Okay.
That side is more
Oh,
than this,
that's enough.
right?
Es suficiente.
Yeah. 8 on that side and 7 over here.
Okay,
All right?
so it's fine. And then the gardenias will go here.
Gardenia there, gardenia there, gardenia there. That's it.
Spread them out evenly.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You got it, baby.
And then over here, they had this like insane Argentinian style grill installed. It's really cool. But we didn't do this. What we're doing is artificial turf all around this pool deck. Then we'll have beds that will run along the foundation. So everywhere you see brown, there's going to be a bed. And then we're going to be putting in some pavers in the fire pit area where you see the orange can over there. There's going to be a gas fire pit there. So we ran a gas line there for them. And then right over here, we're going to extend this patio out about 3 feet. We're going to put aluminum brown pergola that comes out maybe 3 feet. And then they're gonna install some hanging like swing baskets that you can sit in. Then again, over on the side fence over here, we're gonna be putting in those gardenias. And then we have the Eagleson Hollies. Very simple job. It's just a lot of work, but we should have this wrapped up in the next week or so. So yeah. Oh yeah. And then over here, we're gonna be grading this a little bit more because he has existing drains. And then we'll put in zoysia. So he'll have his faux grass over there around the pool, so it looks green all year round. And then he'll have his real grass here so his kids can play. And during the winter, the zoysia does go into dormancy, so it will tan up and sometimes turn brown. But it's gonna look great. You wanna get some action shots? You may be wondering why we have a bunch of white gravel here where the turf's going. So when we do our turf installs, especially around pools, we want to make sure that drainage is never an issue. So instead of doing it all with the decomposed granite, which you see a couple piles over there, we do our drainage rock first for about a couple inches, sometimes 3. And then we'll kind of skirt it with the DG because that's more of a sandy style aggregate. The reason why you don't do it all decomposed granite is because this isn't as porous as the larger aggregate. And the reason why you don't do all of this is because if you were walking on the turf barefoot, you would feel the aggregate on your feet because it's very hard to compact this in a flat manner. So they've already gone over it several times. They'll probably go over it a few more times. And then they'll put the decomposed granite and they'll compact that down. And this stuff is like very, very sandy. So it's very easy to compact and it's very smooth. So if a kid falls on it, they're not gonna feel the large aggregate. And then again, when you're walking on a barefoot, you're not gonna feel it. So this is how we do most of our installs. And this is what I recommend. And I believe this should be the industry standard for your installs. So if you ever have a turf company come out to quote you, ask them about what sub-base material they use or what sub-basis materials they're using, and make sure that they're doing a combination of the two. I would never recommend doing all drainage rock because it's gonna feel horrible on your feet. There is times, especially in the small townhouse backyards, where you can just do all decomposed granite, but when you're doing larger projects like this where drainage is very important, this is the combo that I recommend. You got your action shots?
Mm-hmm.
Sí. Sí.
Dos pies de space, ¿ok?
Los pies separados de las Same?
En el medio del, ensayo de
Sí,
2 pies,
sí,
¿sí?
sí.
Okay.
Okay.
He was asking me about the spacing out the fence. We're trying not to eat into the yard too much because it's going to look really odd on the turf side because the pool is maybe 5 feet off the fence. So we don't want the bed to like be the entire extra space that's off the pool because it's going to look really odd. So we want to keep the bed as small as we possibly can, and then there will be a strip of turf between the pool and the mulch bed. So I'm glad he asked me that. A lot of mess here, dude. A lot of mess here, but a couple of hopefully by the end of next week this will all be cleaned up. We'll have their fence back up. We should be good. Hey, Matt. The owner was asking about his Rivian, like getting it out. Did he ever get it out?
A Rivian?
Yeah.
I haven't seen nothing about that. No, I'm about to move this out of here anyway. So
Yeah, I don't see. He shouldn't have any issues getting it out.
yeah, it was. This place was completely empty this morning. So
Okay, so he probably did that.
Yeah, he probably-
Because he asked about that like on Tuesday or Wednesday, but I said I don't think there should be an issue.
yeah, when I got here, everything was open and clear.
Cool.
I keep calling that guy with the decals. He hasn't answered me this morning, but I got to go take this trailer anyway to Abington Way
Then don't worry
to
about
go
it.
get a bunch of trash. So
Like maybe around 3. Let's just.
I'm just gonna take it now so I have it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is maybe around 3 we can call the guy. If he doesn't answer, then don't worry about it. I gotta get all that DG. Oh, we're gonna go to the nursery. So we'll go to the nursery and we'll check out some of the trees there because I'm looking to get some for the office and kind of seeing what else we can incorporate on other job sites. Let's go. So we're at a nursery. Those 2 large oak trees that y'all saw us install, they were right where that white truck is and right over there where that cone is for like a few years is what they were telling us. But those are the biggest ones that we could find for the client. But I wanted to come here because I wanted to show y'all how organized and clean this nursery is. And it's actually what inspired me to invest a little bit more into our space, but also how impressive some of these plants are. They do a lot of unique like shaping. I really like these spiral plants. They're really pretty. What size are these? Emerald Colonnade Holly. These are nice. I love these too. Even though it's like I believe that's a 7-gallon plant and they're huge. So that's the thing about this place. It's almost double what we usually pay for stuff, but the quality is like on point. And I'm just, when we're doing these large installs, sometimes it's kind of embarrassing. Some of the plants that we have to plant in, we're like, well, it's just, that's what they are. We can't really do anything about it, but now we can. This is something that I might plant at the office. I like the height because it already has like 4 or 5 feet of height. I might do that right on the corner. Here, watch this up. And these are all the shade tolerant style plants. Dude, look at these over there. Wow. This is beautiful. Look at these guys, bro. This would be cool at our office. Look at this color, dude. That just pops. Hydrangeas. So we'll go over by the big trees. Look at this guy. I believe that's a sycamore. Mexican sycamore. But look at this, Hector. So they got these magnolia trees and they built a lattice and then trained them so you could, it's like a wall. So if I wanted to achieve a wall, you know, I could buy all 8 of these and you have this like really cool looking lattice. And look at that, that almost looks fake. Zoom in on that. Isn't that cool? And then over there, they did that with the olive trees. They trained it so it goes up the lattice. That looks a lot nicer than these. And they have a ton of multi-trunk trees. Like this is a multi-trunk Vitex that they trained. They even did a loropetalum. I've never seen this before. I thought that was cool. And then the Japanese yews that you see at our office, we got them from here. And they're just so full. If you're ever trying to like, I think what looks good with this is like a wrought iron fence. You know, it's open and you want to have the privacy and have a hedge. This is the perfect plant for that. Just imagine a whole row like that. And this is what I'm thinking about trying to grow around the pergola at our office. I think it would look cool on the frame. Take a photo. But what I'm trying to find right now is a cool tree two cool trees to plant at the office. I don't want to get like an oak tree because that's going to disrupt everything, but I want to get something that looks nice, but it's not going to be a ton of maintenance to handle. Dude, I would love, do you see that magnolia right there? That'd be cool to put in the middle of our shop. It's pretty cool. It's called Japanese maples. I think it's a blood maple. The only thing I don't like about them is that they lose their leaves during their winter. And then they got a bunch of bamboo on the backside. We don't really plant this stuff, but it has its place. But again, look at this. Look at this multi-trunk. It's just really cool. Really, really cool looking plant. Let's go check out the trees on the backside. So I think these are the exact ones that we planted. These are 45-gallon Japanese yews. They're already about 8 feet tall. You're not gonna find 45s that big anywhere else in Houston. So this is kind of what I came here for, was for these Aloe Verdes. Really unique looking tree. It's got green bark. Really, and then they had this like yellow bud. So there's a big one over there that we'll take a look at. But I just wanted to see if there's anything else that caught my eye. This one's pretty unique. I like this. This is really nice. And then this backside is up where all the large trees are. If you see, the owner was telling me that every Friday it's really loud here because they are cleaning up the entire lot and they got their guys blowing leaves right now. So usually Friday is the prettiest day, or it's when the nursery looks the neatest. So I'm glad we came today. Those are guavas. That one almost fell. It's been really windy the last few days. But this is what man, dude. If I buy that lot, I'm gonna plant this. This is another one that I'm considering. It's a bald cypress. The problem with these is that come look over here. The root system kind of knots up. So you have to be really strategic where you plant it. Yeah, I really like that one, Hector. But over here, this is the Palo Verde that I've been eyeing. Oh, it looks like they already, oh, no, here it is. So I like this one. It's like a tree form version of it. They've kind of trained it to grow straight out. So this is kind of what I'm considering putting on the edge. It's just my only issue with it is that it's not very full. So they look kind of scraggly, but I do like that. All right, so I hope you enjoyed seeing the remodel of the office. We're pretty much almost wrapped up. And then you got to see a couple of our job sites, which is really exciting to see some of these come to fruition and some of them get completed. Yeah, so thanks again. Please comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.